I am the daughter of the Demon King. Yet, I transmigrated into the body of an 18th-tier celebrity known for scandals, forced to participate in a supernatural reality show. The host asked, "I heard you're terrified of ghosts. Are you scared now? Scared? Those demons and ghouls should be terrified of me, shouldn't they?" Then I woke up to the sound of hushed whispers. "Isn't that Luna? The girl who chased Actor Fu and Actor Man all over the set? Of course, she was born with a foxy face, wasn't she? Exactly. She thinks she's a third, as pretty as actress Lu, and shamelessly clings to her for fame. Look at her, seeing actress Lu accept the invitation to this supernatural show, and then brazenly insisting on joining too. I opened my eyes to find myself in a dressing room. The voices belonged to my two makeup artists. Seeing me awake, they didn't even bother to lower their voices, instead glaring at me with contempt. My brain was processing and reorganizing the situation. I am the daughter of the Demon King, from the underworld. To break through my stagnant cultivation, I was sent to the human realm for training. I transmigrated into the body of Luna, a celebrity infamous for scandals. The original owner of this body was arguably the most despised celebrity in the entertainment industry. She actually possessed a beautiful face, bearing a striking resemblance to actress Lu, the youngest empress of the industry. When she first entered the entertainment world, she was even nicknamed Little Lu. Unfortunately, she signed with an unreliable company that constantly used her to piggyback on actress Lu's fame. Not only that, she was also forced to pursue Actor Fu, even knocking on his hotel room door in the middle of the night. After being caught by paparazzi, she was viciously cursed by Actor Fu's fan club, completely cementing her path of shamelessness. After numerous incidents, Luna finally gave up and embraced a life of notoriety, determined to follow the path of scandal to the very end. But then, actress Lu, an angel descended to earth, accepted her first invitation to a show called Spirits Beside You, a supernatural-themed program. And Luna, too, demanded to participate. That's when I transmigrated. I looked down at the script the production team had given Luna. That's right. They hadn't agreed to her participation unconditionally. The condition was that she was to play the role of an ignorant character, serving as a foil to actress Lu. I skimmed the first few pages. It essentially wanted me to act foolish and arrogant, contrasting with actress Lu's humility and intelligence. None of this bothered me. But then I turned to the last page, which stated I had to exhibit extreme fear of ghosts. Kame? Scared of ghosts? Ha! Ha! Those creatures would be lucky if their souls didn't scatter upon seeing me. Ah! Is that even possible? I muttered to myself. After my makeup was done, filming quickly began. The location for this episode was an abandoned school, notorious as the most haunted place in S-City. Over 20 years ago, it was a prestigious girls' school. But then, a girl suddenly committed suicide there. No one knew why, but after her death, strange occurrences plagued the school. Eventually, it relocated. This site was initially slated for an apartment complex, but construction was repeatedly halted by bizarre incidents, eventually leading to its permanent abandonment. I stood before the school gates and looked up, instantly seeing the oppressive aura of ghostly energy surrounding the place. It was clear there were vengeful spirits here. This show truly had guts to film an episode in such a location. Naturally, the production team had some concerns. As I approached, I saw several Taoist priests performing rituals. Once they finished, the elder stroked his silver beard, confidently telling the director, "You can rest assured. After our ritual, there will be absolutely no evil spirits left here. Everyone can proceed with the show without worry." The director was about to respectfully express his gratitude when I, standing nearby, suddenly spoke up. "Are you sure about that?" All eyes immediately turned to me. The old Taoist priest frowned. Who is this girl? Of course, he didn't know me, but he was clearly annoyed by someone questioning his abilities. "I have completed the ritual. Naturally, there are no evil spirits here," he declared, his face brimming with arrogance. But I simply pointed towards his shoulder and asked, "Then what's that on your shoulder?" Only I could see a small ghost clinging to the old Taoist priest's shoulder, brimming with furious energy and clearly possessing far greater spiritual power than the priest himself. Naturally, he couldn't see it and glared at me, enraged. "What nonsense are you spouting? Spirits Beside You is a show that values authenticity. Everything here is broadcast live to the public." Hearing my words, the comment section immediately erupted with insults. "This Luna girl is disgusting. What kind of act is she pulling? She almost scared me to death just now." "Exactly. He's a highly respected Taoist master. Is she trying to show off and make a fool of him? This is just for attention, isn't it? What won't these fame-hungry people do?" It had to be said. The original Luna was truly universally disliked. Even through the screen, I could feel the surge of resentment emanating from the comment section. I was marveling at how netizens could harbor such intense animosity towards someone they'd never even met in real life, when a gentle voice suddenly echoed from behind me. "Taoist master, please don't be angry. Luna was just joking." I turned my head to see actress Lu, the youngest Golden Horse Award winner in history, now the most influential goddess in the entertainment industry. She and Luna were similar in age, and their faces even shared some resemblance. But while actress Lu exuded purity, Luna's face was more alluringly beautiful. Strictly speaking, Luna was indeed stunning. It was just that the public preferred a pure and innocent image, which made actress Lu's face more popular. She looked at me, her voice gentle, yet serious. "Luna, I know you want to prove yourself, but we must respect the deceased. When it comes to things we don't understand, it's right to be reverent." Her words sounded like advice, but they were actually a subtle jab, accusing me of being shallow, speaking carelessly, and disrespecting the dead. The moment actress Lu appeared on screen, the comment section exploded. "Ah, the goddess is here. So beautiful. So beautiful." I'm practically licking my screen. The goddess is truly classy. She respects the deceased, unlike Luna. Luna can't even compare to our goddess. She's just a shameless attention seeker. The comment section was overwhelmingly praising actress Lu, taking the opportunity to kick me while I was down. I shrugged, unbothered. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not afraid of ghosts anyway. When it comes to ghostly energy, only you mortals would be affected. Not me. After the ritual concluded, our group prepared to enter the school. To boost objective viewership, the production team had added a task. They had hidden 3 talismans in 3 different locations. The guests had to find all 3 to reach the rooftop and complete the mission. At 9 p.m., the 5 guests, our group, along with 2 official cameramen, entered the school. Among them, a female guest named Xiaolu immediately began to feel dizzy and nauseous. It was because her 8 characters, a traditional Chinese astrological concept indicating one's life force, were too weak to withstand the resentful energy in the school. However, the production team mistook her condition for food poisoning and cut her scene short. The remaining 6 of us continued inside. The entire school was gloomy and cold, the wind whistling through rotten windows, creaking eerily and sending shivers down everyone's spines. The other guests were trembling with fear, but only actress Lu remained calm, even comforting them. If everyone's scared, I'll go first. The comment section immediately erupted with praise. The goddess is so kind. I watched actress Lu. There was a unique spiritual energy around her, likely from her ancestral spirits protecting her. Perhaps this protection was why she had such smooth sailing in the entertainment industry. However, her ancestral spirit's cultivation was only mediocre. Against the resentful energy before us, it was barely worth mentioning. Very quickly, the group reached a classroom at the end of the 3rd floor hallway. It looks like there's a lab at the end of the hall. Let's go check it out, host Wang, the show's presenter, suggested, leading everyone forward. But I stopped in my tracks. Noticing my inaction, everyone turned to ask, Luna, why aren't you moving? My brow furrowed. We shouldn't go into that room ahead. The girl from 20 years ago died in there. A cold gust of wind swept through, and I saw all the guests shiver. The comment section fell silent for a moment before erupting with insults again. Luna again, huh? Is she addicted to faking supernatural abilities? Exactly. The details of that old case were never released. How would she know where the person died? She's just spouting nonsense to gain attention. People like her will do anything. It's disgusting. Not only did the comment section think I was talking rubbish, but the other guests on the show felt the same. Host Wang lost his patience, waving his hand dismissively. All right, Luna. Stop messing around. We have a task. Let's go in. With that, everyone followed him into the room. I raised an eyebrow. He wasn't even finished explaining. Ah, that girl didn't just die in that classroom. The critical point is that her resentment was so heavy, she became a Difu-ling, earthbound spirit. Her soul is still trapped in that classroom. A Difu-ling is a person or object whose soul, after death, is restricted to a specific area, bound to one place. This type of spirit carries an immense amount of unresolved resentment, turning them into vengeful spirits. But of course, no one paid any attention to my words. They couldn't wait to enter the classroom. I, however, followed with an amused excitement, ready to watch the show unfold. The moment they entered the classroom, everyone noticed the temperature drop significantly. Anya, the most timid among the guests, was on the verge of tears. Is it just my imagination? I feel like it's so cold in here. Yet host Wang, ever the skeptic, waved his hand dismissively. It's probably just the production team deliberately lowering the AC to scare us. All right, let's split up and search for the talismans. Everyone began to rummage around. Soon, someone called out. Found one. On the desk of the lecturer's podium, a pouch was discovered containing 7 yellow talismans. Host Wang immediately called everyone over to take one. One. Come on, come on. 7 talismans, 1 for each person. Xiaolu wasn't here, so there should be 1 spare. Host Wang choked on his words mid-sentence. Originally, there were 7 participants in the show, so 7 talismans had been prepared, 1 for each. But because Xiaolu had felt unwell and couldn't participate, only 6 remained. Logically, there should have been 1 talisman left over. But now, there were no talismans left on the podium. Host Wang frowned. Right. Don't think anyone ends. Who took an extra talisman? No one answered. Until I coolly spoke up. No one took an extra. Everyone simultaneously looked at me. I toyed with the talisman in my hand and said coldly, "It's that there's an extra person in our group. Haven't you noticed?" With that, I pointed behind them. They all whipped their heads around, only to discover a girl in a red dress standing silently in the dark corner behind them. In her hand, she held a yellow talisman, her long hair swaying. A collective gasp, and then piercing screams ripped through the air. The guests hadn't noticed this girl before. It was only when I pointed her out that they shrieked in terror. The girl before them was none other than the one who had committed suicide in the school all those years ago. Because her death was so tragic, her resentful energy was so thick that she had long ago solidified into a physical entity. Even those without spiritual sight could likely see her. Not only the guests present, but even television viewers could see her through the cameras. In an instant, the comment section exploded. "Oh my God, what is happening? When did a girl in red join the group? I didn't see her just now. This must be an NPC staff member the production team hired. Right? But seriously, she looks terrifying. Is she a real actress? How can I still feel shivers down my spine just watching on screen?" Everyone was commenting frantically, yet still glued to their screens. But now, there was no longer an opportunity. The 2 cameramen were scared out of their wits. Their cameras had long since crashed to the floor. Clang! The live broadcast was abruptly cut. At the same time, the guests in the room felt the temperature plummet even further. It was a bone-chilling cold. Such clear, undeniable reality made everyone present realize this was absolutely not a prearranged segment by the production team. They had truly encountered a ghost. Even host Wang, the bravest of the group earlier, lost all composure, frantically rushing to open the door. But the door, which had clearly been wide open just moments ago, was now mysteriously shut. Not only that, the old dilapidated classroom door, which couldn't possibly be locked, was now jammed tight, refusing to budge no matter how they tried to open it. They were in a state of utter panic, wildly banging on the door and screaming, "Open up! Stop joking! Open the door!" Amidst their desperate cries, the girl in red began to move. Her face was obscured by her long hair, making it impossible to see clearly, but her glowing red eyes faintly shone through. She slowly advanced. Everyone else pressed themselves against the door in terror, but I remained rooted to the spot, not moving an inch. Seeing me like this, they thought I was frozen with fear. A cameraman frantically yelled, "Luna, Rona!" But I stood my ground as the girl in red began to shriek, lunging straight towards me. Host Wang and the others also screamed in terror, but I stubbornly stayed put. Then I suddenly lifted my head to look at the girl in red and coldly spoke. "You have some nerve, don't you?" At that exact moment, the ghostly energy around me began to spread. Host Wang and the others were mere mortals, naturally unable to sense the demonic aura emanating from me. So, all they saw was the girl in red suddenly freeze. The next second, something that astonished them beyond belief occurred. The girl in red abruptly thudded to the ground, directly kneeling before me. She then began to kowtow repeatedly, looking at me and saying, "My lady, I was blind and failed to recognize your esteemed presence. Please, my lady, in your great magnanimity, do not hold this humble servant's offense against me. In truth, most humans who become vengeful spirits after death are driven by instinct and resentment, so they can sometimes be somewhat animalistic, possessing a strong instinct for survival. When they sense the presence of another ghostly energy far more powerful than their own, they immediately surrender. The girl in red before me was a prime example. Just moments ago, she had seen us, intended to scare us, and wanted to drain our vital energy. But unexpectedly, when I suddenly unleashed my demonic energy, she realized she had encountered a formidable being like me, and instantly begged for mercy. However, the other guests had no idea what was truly happening. All they could do was stare in utter astonishment. The terrifying atmosphere vanished in an instant. Actress Lu couldn't help but ask, so this was all arranged by the production team. Because of the girl in red's act of kneeling, no one around thought she was an actual ghost. Naturally, they assumed the production team had staged everything. The girl in red, upon hearing this, became enraged. She lifted her head, glared at actress Lu and shrieked, "Do you want to die?" Of course, she would speak respectfully only. The Demon King's daughter. To a mere mortal like actress Lu, she was still a terrifying, vengeful spirit. Her single shriek sent cold winds sweeping in all directions, blowing her long hair wildly and revealing her blood-red eyes and pale face. Actress Lu and the others screamed once more, on the verge of fainting. They immediately understood. This was no staged event by the production team. This was a real ghost. They looked at me, their expressions now tinged with a newfound respect. I merely said to the girl in red, "All right, stop screaming and scaring people. Tell me, what resentment do you harbor? As the Demon King's daughter, guiding lost vengeful spirits in the human realm back to the underworld is part of my cultivation. That's why I asked her." But she remained silent, not answering. I didn't press further, instead using my demonic sight to peer into the true origins of everything. It turned out this girl had been assaulted by several teachers at the school. When she became pregnant, her classmates condemned her as indecent. The girl sought help from her family, but they refused to believe teachers could do such things, insisting she must have been out with bad company. Her own mother even scolded her. If you weren't always primping and preening, how would such things happen to you? Society is always like this, always blaming women for everything, making them the victims. In despair, the girl chose to jump to her death. But the resentful energy within her couldn't dissipate, causing her and her unborn child to linger in this place. The small ghost clinging to the old Taoist priest's shoulder earlier was her child. I sighed. You are a pitiful soul. Then I continued. Let me help you and your child find peace. The girl immediately looked up, unwilling to give up, as if she wanted to say something. I anticipated her words and nodded, interjecting. Don't worry, evil begets evil. Those who harmed you, I will not let them live in peace. Hearing my words, the girl's blood-red eyes gradually began to fade. At the same time, I started a ritual for the mother and child. With my cultivation, performing a ritual for vengeful spirits didn't require the grand display the Taoist priests had put on earlier. I just needed to take out a lipstick from my bag and draw talismans around her. And just like that, the ritual quickly began. The cameraman from the production team, standing nearby, seemed to have regained his composure. He secretly picked up his camera and resumed the live broadcast. Of course, I noticed his actions, but I couldn't be bothered and simply continued to finish my task. Thus, all the viewers in the live stream were back on screen. Just as the camera struggled to recover, they saw me with my eyes closed, muttering incantations. The comment section was flooded with question marks. What's happening? Am I seeing this right? Luna's posture looks like she's performing a ritual to guide spirits, doesn't it? Has this attention-seeking celebrity run out of tricks? Not enough to piggyback on others. Now she's setting up a mystical persona? I've been waiting here forever to see supernatural events. And you're showing me this fraud. Trying to impress. Who is she fooling? It had to be said. The original Luna's disliked image was truly deeply ingrained in people's minds. So, no one bothered to believe I was actually guiding a vengeful spirit. Everyone thought I was just putting on a show. I ignored them and simply completed the ritual. Finished, I looked directly at the live broadcast camera and stated coolly, Wu Zie, Wan Fengsheng Zhou Heng. These are the names of the 3 teachers who caused the innocent girl's death. I hope the police will thoroughly investigate this matter. Not only for the deceased girl, but also for the many victims who never dared to speak up, and most importantly, to protect future girls from such harm. With that, I said no more and walked straight out of the classroom. Very quickly, spirits beside you shot to the top of the hot search list. My name followed immediately. Netizens initially cursed me, claiming I was faking supernatural abilities. But, unexpectedly, many of the guests who participated in the show began to post in my defense. The show's director wrote, Luna is an incredibly capable girl. Thanks to her, we all emerged unharmed this time. Anya posted, Luna is the person I admire most. She's invincible. Absolutely not a fraud. These guests spoke from the heart. After all, having gone through the incident at the school, they all realized I was no ordinary person. When the director added me on WeChat, he immediately called me Grandmaster, which was quite shocking. Netizens, seeing these statements, were bewildered. Some were swayed. Could Luna really have some ability? Otherwise, why would so many guests speak up for her? But many still refused to believe. I think Luna must have found some powerful backer, they speculated. Having the production team promote her wasn't enough. Now even the guests are helping her. Just as everyone was still suspicious, actress Luna made a statement. She posted a photo of a pearl necklace on WO saying, "Wishing everyone a good day. I bought a necklace thinking the pearls were from the deep ocean, but they turned out not to be. Indeed, if something is fake, no matter what anyone says, it can't become real." This post seemed unrelated to me on the surface, but it was a clear insinuation that I was a fake master, a counterfeit. Netizens, feeling they had found solid ground for their arguments, immediately began to swarm and curse me. "I told you Luna was just putting on an act. Look, actress Lu has directly exposed her. Only are true to herself, actress Lu wouldn't be bought off to deceive the public." Just as the attacks were about to begin, an astonishing reversal occurred. The police department released a statement announcing the arrest of 3 corrupt teachers who had assaulted innocent students. These were the exact 3 individuals I had named during the live broadcast. Simultaneously, the mother of the girl who committed suicide 20 years ago also came forward, crying. She looked into the camera and said, "That year, my daughter told me she was by teachers. At first, I didn't believe it, thinking teachers wouldn't do such depraved things. But then my daughter took her own life. Oh my God, my daughter! Now, regret is too late. Why didn't I believe my own daughter? At the time, I started investigating, trying to find out which teacher had done this to my child, but I couldn't uncover anything. Who would have thought 20 years later, the police would come to me, saying they had found the culprits who caused my daughter's death? I must thank the girl named Luna. Thanks to her, those 3 criminals were identified. Otherwise, how many more girls would have been harmed without daring to speak up? Many other parents of victims also came forward, saying their daughters had also been molested by these 3 animals. The netizens were utterly shocked and stirred. What? I thought those 3 names Luna said were just random guesses for show. No way. These 3 people actually exist. And they're the culprits who forced that girl to commit suicide all those years ago? So Luna really communicated with the girl from back then? How else would she know those 3 names? Oh my goodness, stop talking. I'm getting goosebumps all over. Excuse me, commenter above. Are you Luna's paid shill? Are you addicted to acting? She's just a fake who knows nothing about metaphysics. How could she have such ability? Who's a shill? Please use your brain and think logically. No one knew about that old case, yet Luna knew. If this isn't spiritual communication, what is it? Exactly. Luna definitely has this ability. On the other hand, actress Lu, posting about pearl necklaces and making veil jabs, isn't that just like those greeny anti-fans? That's right. I think most of those still anti-Luna are actress Lu's fans. Right? Because of these subsequent events, public opinion changed dramatically. The number of people cursing me dwindled, but actress Lu became the target of severe verbal attacks. Amidst the intense public debate, The show entered its second season. When I arrived at the set for season 2, everything felt different. First, the production team members treated me with more respect. Yes. There were also several police officers present. When they saw me, they quickly approached and got straight to the point. Miss Luna, we're very grateful for the clues you provided in the previous case. After the first season aired, the police had indeed sought me out. I had provided them with many leads for the case. At the time, they were still somewhat skeptical. But after their investigation, they discovered that everything I said was accurate. From then on, they always showed greater respect towards me. Not only that, they also told me the reason for their presence today. It turned out that the second season of the show was related to a recent cold case. The victim was someone from your industry, the police explained. A male artist was found dead some time ago in a mountain villa, but the investigation wasn't clear. So we've come to invite you to take a look and help us. From the director's and police's descriptions, I knew that today's filming location was the private villa of a powerful magnate. Last month, he had hosted a private party at the villa, inviting several people from the entertainment industry, but a male artist had died during the party. After an investigation, it was concluded that the artist had accidentally fallen from a height, but many strange things had since occurred in the villa. Blood-written messages appeared on the walls, and neighbors often heard mournful cries at night. The police had also discovered suspicious elements in the case, which led them to us for assistance. More accurately, they came to me for help. Filming quickly began. The moment I stepped into the villa, I noticed something and frowned, glancing at host Wang beside me. In the first season, host Wang had been very lively, but now he seemed utterly dispirited, constantly looking around with tension. The production team couldn't wait and immediately asked me, "Luna, have you figured out why that artist died? This time?" Because the filming environment wasn't as terrifying as before. The production team had to exaggerate things themselves for dramatic effect. The main reason the show had high viewership was the debate over whether I truly possessed the rumored abilities, which was why the production team proactively asked. But I replied indifferently, "I don't want to say for now." The moment my words fell, the comment section exploded again. "What do you mean? Don't want to say?" "I've been waiting here for so long, and she says she doesn't want to say anything." Haha. I bet she can't make anything up, can she? Last time was all arranged by the production team. Can't she keep up the act this time? I thought Luna really had spiritual abilities. Looks like she's deceiving viewers again today. I paid no mind to those silly questioning comments. Simply walked to a sofa, found a spot, sat down, and closed my eyes to rest. The production team grew a little anxious, about to urge me on. But who knew? At that awkward moment, a gentle voice suddenly spoke. Perhaps I could try. Everyone turned their heads to see actress Lu, standing there with a bright smile. Actually, I also have some abilities in spiritual communication. I want to help this poor deceased person. I immediately rolled my eyes. Is she trying to beg her ancestral spirits for help? All attention instantly shifted to actress Luo, but the director's face brightened with joy. Actress Lu, you also know spiritual communication? Actress Lu smiled. Yes, I do, but it can be detrimental to one's body, so I usually don't use it. But this time, she lifted her head, her expression resolute. But for this innocent departed soul, I am willing to sacrifice myself. Standing nearby, I truly couldn't help but twitch my lips a few times. This actress Lu girl is really overdoing it with the dramatics. Everyone knows that inviting ancestral spirits for help has nothing to do with harming one's body. Yet she acted as if she were making a great sacrifice, all to gain public support and sympathy. And these people actually allowed themselves to be led by the nose like that. The comment section was filled with "Wow, the goddess is so great," and other such praises. Actress Lu didn't want to reveal the identity of her ancestral spirits, so she vaguely hinted that the spiritual communication process involved her privacy. Could we temporarily pause the live stream? The production team, of course, agreed to preserve these suspenseful moments, so they quickly stopped the cameras. But the comment section immediately started a fresh wave of uproar. Wow, I want to see the goddess communicate with spirits. Why can't we watch? So sad, but it's okay. We know our goddess is kind, that's enough. As soon as the camera was off, actress Lu took out a jade pendant, the token between her and her ancestral spirit. She genuinely intended to invite her ancestral spirit for help. I had been silent all this time. Slowly, I spoke with indifference. I advise you not to act rashly. At this, everyone's gaze shifted to me. Seeing me frown, actress Lu immediately revealed an impatient look and spoke. Luna, I know you're unhappy that I'm more outstanding than you, but you know we should be honest with the public. Your tricks are meaningless. Actress Lu's words carried a significant implication. On one hand, she suggested that my identification of the real culprit in Season 1 was through deception. On the other hand, she implied that I was interrupting her out of jealousy. I ignored actress Lu's bizarre remarks. I simply said indifferently, this case involves someone else's karma. If you invite your ancestral spirits, you'll be entangling them in this karma, which will harm their cultivation. Are you sure you want to do that? In this era, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth is weak. It's not easy to cultivate to become a spirit. That's why I'm telling you this. But how would actress Lu know these principles? Even if she understood, she probably wouldn't care. She continued her self-aggrandizing performance. Luna, I cannot let an innocent young man suffer injustice just because of your selfishness. I'm sorry. With that, she held the jade pendant in her palm and muttered something under her breath. Next, everyone felt a strange gust of wind. Suddenly, a window burst open and a sleek, golden ferret-like creature confidently walked in. The director immediately reacted, blurting out, So you invited Grand Immortal Huang as someone making a supernatural show? The director had some knowledge of metaphysics, so he recognized it at first glance. At this very moment, the golden ferret nonchalantly entered the living room. Even someone unfamiliar with metaphysics would recognize that this golden ferret was no ordinary being. The moment its feet touched the ground, its gait was no different from a human's. More accurately, it moved like a graceful, elegant lady. Actress Lu respectfully bowed to it and briefly explained everything, then said, "Grand Immortal, I'm afraid I've troubled you this time." But Grand Immortal Huang didn't agree immediately. It merely narrowed its eyes, swept a glance across everything in the room, and growled, "I heard there's a little girl in your show who claims to have spiritual abilities. I want to see who this person is, who has the audacity to flaunt their meager skills before Phase, Old One, standing aside. I instantly understood everything. It seemed Actress Lu invited Grand Immortal Huang not just to show off on the program, but to teach me a lesson. Thinking this, I couldn't help but chuckle. Who's truly flaunting their meager skills remains to be seen. Because of Grand Immortal Huang's appearance, the entire house was filled with tension and silence. Naturally, my soft chuckle stood out even more. All eyes immediately fixed on me. Grand Immortal Huang slightly narrowed its eyes, let out a cold snort, and said, "So, you're the little girl who doesn't know her place? I want to see what abilities you truly possess." With that, it began to pounce towards me, claws extended, and of course, I instinctively released my demonic energy. Because I was currently in a mortal body, I usually appeared no different from an ordinary human, without any cultivation. Grand Immortal Huang also thought this. The moment I released my demonic energy, my true power instantly revealed itself. Grand Immortal Huang's eyes widened in horror, its entire body stiffening and freezing. But everyone else still hadn't realized what was happening, especially Actress Lu. The boundless joy in her eyes was barely concealed, and she hypocritically said, "Luna, quickly apologize to Grand Immortal. Everyone can understand, after all, you're still young, and vanity and pretending to know things are common. No one will." Actress Lu's fake words hadn't even finished before something even more shocking occurred. The very next second, Grand Immortal Huang suddenly thumped to the ground, tumbling as if sliding on ice. At the same time, it began to wail and cry. "Ah, my lady, this humble one was wrong. It was this humble one who was blind and offended you. Please forgive this humble one. Tisk, tisk." Go on. The entire villa was steeped in an eerie silence, their eyes wide with confusion. It feels like I've seen this scene somewhere before. Needless to say, he was recalling the red-clad ghost girl in the abandoned school, who also knelt and begged for her life like this. But the Grand Immortal Huang before them was even more panicked than the ghost girl. Because its cultivation was so low, the moment it saw me, it was scared to the point of nearly soiling itself. Actress Lu, naturally both angry and indignant, couldn't help but yell, "Grand Immortal, What's wrong with you? How can you be so deferential to a mere mortal like Luna? Before actress Lu could finish, Grand Immortal Huang glared. Don't talk nonsense. What do you mean, mere mortal? This person is a heavenly immortal. Huh? What now? I'm the Demon King's daughter. How did I become a heavenly immortal so quickly? Actress Lu stared blankly, watching Grand Immortal Huang bowing and scraping before me. I ignored Grand Immortal Huang's flattery and said indifferently, So, shall we continue to deal with the case? As soon as I spoke, everyone remembered that we were still filming the show. The director was the quickest to regain his composure, quickly speaking, deal with it. Of course, we'll deal with it. If you want to deal with it, I calmly said, then I'll speed up the process a bit. Everyone was still dazed, not yet having reacted to what my 4 words, speed up the process, meant, when I raised my hand. Suddenly, a surge of resentful energy erupted, and all the lights in the house flickered and went out. Then a dark figure gradually emerged, lunging directly towards us, screaming, You killed me! I'll make you pay with your life. When the ghost lunged, actress Lu's face turned pale with fear, and she scrambled towards Grand Immortal Huang. Grandmaster, protect me quickly. I looked at her undignified appearance, a smirk playing on my lips. Don't worry, it won't harm you. Its target is host Wang. My words not only startled actress Lu, but stunned everyone present. Next, everyone indeed heard host Wang's blood-curdling screams. No, don't come over here. I know you would die. Stay away from me. The remaining people, truly unharmed, scattered in all directions to hide. In the darkness, host Wang's screams were agonizingly clear. The director, though terrified, didn't forget to look at me and say, Luna. What help can you offer? Everyone fell silent. Yeah, that's right. From the moment I stepped into this villa, I understood everything, but I didn't want to reveal it quickly, because I knew host Wang was the enemy of the vengeful spirit in this villa. I not like those infinitely compassionate Taoist priests or Buddhist monks. I believe that evil will be met with evil. If the vengeful spirit's enemy is here, why should I interfere? What's wrong with letting him get his revenge first? So, I had kept my hands off. It wasn't until host Wang's screams grew weaker and weaker that I finally spoke. Enough. The moment I finished speaking, I waved my hand, and all the lights flickered back on. Now, everyone could see host Wang's condition. He was covered in blood, and there, a handsome young man, brimming with thick, resentful energy, had now solidified into a physical soul. Naturally, it was the young male artist who had died not long ago. The male artist stopped by me, lifted his head, his face full of hatred, and said, He caused me to become like this. Why can't I seek revenge on him? From the male artist's words, everyone finally understood. It was host Wang who had acted as a go-between. He had claimed he would introduce the artist to an investor with abundant resources. The artist thought it was a genuine introduction, but who would have thought it would lead him to endure such torment? Finally, unable to bear it any longer, he jumped to his death right in the investor's villa. Therefore, he hated host Wang immensely and wanted to kill him immediately, then become a vengeful spirit to hunt down that shameless investor. I had known this all along. I simply said indifferently, "But if you kill someone, what price will you pay in the underworld? Is it worth it for this beast?" The male artist froze, his eyes still brimming with unwillingness. "Am I just supposed to let them off?" "The human realm naturally has its own laws," I said, lifting my head to look at the bewildered police officers. "I believe the police will seek justice for you. Isn't that right?" The police officers now regained their composure, quickly speaking, Of course. Only then did the male artist allow us to stop him. Host Wang was rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment, but the young male artist's soul still had no way to reincarnate. He was still waiting for the scum's fate, and everyone did not disappoint him. The cameras restored to their original state. Viewers could now see host Wang's miserable condition. Coupled with the online statements from our artists, this incident created a massive stir. No one could escape justice. Everything was thoroughly investigated. Those who committed evil paid the price. Only then did the young male artist release his lingering resentment and reincarnate. At the same time, actress Lu's fans became smug. "Our actress Lu is truly amazing. She handled everything as soon as she acted. This is what a true talent looks like. How can those fakes compare?" That's right, because the live broadcast had been interrupted. Actress Lu's fans assumed that the success of the second season was entirely due to her. Those people even took the opportunity to scoff at me. But little did they know, they were about to be utterly humiliated. The police department posted an official thank you message to Luna for helping them solve the case. Not only the police, but the male artist's parents, the production team, and all the participating guests unanimously praised me by name. No one mentioned actress Lu even once. Once. In the end, the production team went so far as to cut a segment from the show and broadcast it nationwide. Everything was now crystal clear. Actress Lu's attempt to show off not only failed, but ultimately she had to rely on me. Everyone was astonished. Actress Lu's brain-dead fans refused to believe it, even to their dying breath, stubbornly insisting I was acting. But the police department had officially stepped forward. How could it be an act? Finally, everyone believed in my abilities, and gradually, I became more famous. As for actress Lu, things turned out quite tragically for her. After the second season concluded, I asked Grand Immortal Huang, "Would you like me to give you some pointers on how to increase your cultivation?" Grand Immortal Huang's eyes immediately lit up, and it nodded frantically. It was clear its cultivation had been stagnant for too long, and it desperately needed guidance from a master. I just gave a slight smirk. "I can help you, but you must no longer assist actress Lu's family." "I'm sorry, but I'm just that petty." Although I didn't think much of actress Lu, she kept trying to step on me repeatedly. How could I let it go? I absolutely had to teach her a lesson. Unexpectedly, Grand Immortal Huang immediately agreed. After all, it had only become an ancestral spirit for the Lu family out of gratitude. What needed to be repaid had long since been repaid. Now, it was merely clinging to the Lu family's offerings. Honestly, if you compare their offerings to my guidance, there's no comparison. And so, Grand Immortal Huang immediately abandoned actress Lu Dot. Her luck also began to change. More and more scandals were dug up, and many people began to doubt actress Lu's talent and acting skills. Her management company's dark dealings were also exposed. She had completely fallen from grace. Conversely, I became increasingly famous. Several years later, when I successfully completed my training and returned to the underworld, my adorable father, the Demon King, personally asked me, "My dear daughter, how was your experience hiding in the human realm and being a celebrity?" I just smiled and replied, "Not bad, Dad.